Next, another court case that we're following. It is a legal battle over social media deception. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton filing a lawsuit against Snapchat, alleging the company is failing to warn parents and its users about Snapchat's addictive design and inappropriate materials on the platform. Snap responded in a statement telling ABC News that the lawsuit fundamentally distorts how the platform works. So for more on this, I want to bring in ABC News legal analyst Brian Buckmeyer. And Brian, first, can you break down for our viewers in layman's terms, what is this lawsuit? What is the crux of this lawsuit?
Yeah, so Alex, the crux of the lawsuit is that Texas, through the Attorney General, is alleging that the company has misled parents in what they have in terms of protections for their children, and also allowing for these addictive features. There are several claims, and I'll focus on two in particular. The Securing Children Online through Parental Empowerment, that's the SCOPE Act, as well as the Texas Deceptive Trade Protection Act. And under those acts, what Texas is saying is that the Snapchat is selling minors data. They're failing to provide adequate parental oversight tools. They're failing to inform parents and as well as consumers about the exposure of inappropriate material and an addictive design. Specifically, they're talking about profanity, sexual content, nudity, and drug use that some of these young people and children are seeing, especially of an application that they say is supposed to be 12 and above. Before this hit, I went on and I checked the Apple Store. Snapchat is meant for people who are 13 and above, and Texas is saying that's deceptive in terms of the safety protocols that are in place.
Well, what's at stake here for Snapchat?
A lot of money, right? And so what the Texas AG is saying is that for every violation of any of these claims, they want $10,000. So anytime a child, for example, might have seen nudity, profanity, sexual content, any one of those things, that's $10,000. And that's a high dollar amount. But on top of that, they're also asking for Snapchat to change the way in which it puts out information, its quote unquote deceptive policies, as well as the way that it filters out these parental controls. So basically the bread and butter of how Snapchat operates is on the line for how it should go moving forward if it is found liable.
Well, and I don't have any figures about Snapchat's earnings last year, but I imagine that with that $10,000 for every single violation, I mean, you're talking about something that potentially upend that company if the Attorney General there is successful. But the other thing that comes to mind is Snapchat just settled a lawsuit last month about addictive algorithms. I'm curious, does this impact this lawsuit at all?
Yes and no. I would say no from a legal standpoint, because settling one lawsuit doesn't mean that you are claiming liability for that lawsuit or any particular ways. But I will say that the Snapchat lawsuit that was settled, if you're referring to the one in Los Angeles, that is still going on with Meta and Google as testimony is continuing. In fact, the Instagram CEO recently testified in that case. That has similar arguments. And what Texas, as well as at least, I think, 40 other attorney generals are doing, there's another case in New Mexico and other countries and other states, are looking at not just the platform itself, but the levers and tools that are used in order to engage individuals, in order to engage specifically minors. And so I think they're kind of pulling from that playbook of other states and saying, we'll make similar arguments here, and maybe Snapchat will settle and change their ways before we get to a trial. But from a legal standpoint, no, that doesn't really affect them in any way, but it could add pressure.
Gotcha. All right, Brian Buckmeyer for us. Thank you as always.